All right, well, I've hit record, so we are recording. So it is Wednesday night, May 8th, and we are doing Dig Deeper to Disney, and we're doing week number 3, and it's selling. So I am actually Kara Jones, and I am going to be doing the selling portion of tonight, and then April is going to follow up in a few minutes with the recruiting portion for Nicole. Don't be confused, we've kind of rearranged things this week, but that's where we're rolling with it. And then we'll let you know what's happening next week after that. So I'm going to go into presentation mode. Come on. Okay, well, hold on. It's being stupid. Of course, it's not me. It's the computer, right?
It's the weather.
I showed up today to the wrong YMCA to teach class when I should have been at the other one. So that's how my morning started.
So you had to jump in your car and go?
I got there in time for the other one. I was 5 minutes late, but I made it. I figured it out before I got in the pool.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys. So here we go. Selling. Wanted to follow up from last week and see how many shows you guys did and whether you worked on virtual or live. So if you guys want to comment on what you did last week, let me know.
Y'all go.
Go ahead.
You go.
I ended one on the 30th. I have one that ends Friday. I have one that starts Friday. And I have 2 more by the end of the month. But I still need to get probably at least 4 more parties for this month.
Great.
Cool. So how are you going about getting them?
Actually, one of them, that's the one that starts Friday, I went into Jerry's page, my husband, and hacked his friends list and started sending everybody a message saying that I was trying to grow my business and asked if, they would be interested. And I've only gotten 1 response back from it, but it worked.
One is all.
And then I had Jerry post on his page that I hacked his friends list and hacked his Facebook page. So for them to answer my response, just so I leave them alone.
There you go.
That's great.
Janelle, what you got going on?
Okay, so last month I ended with 10 parties. Most were virtual. I believe all were virtual. No, 2 were in home. It was a long month. I traveled the whole month, so I lined up all the virtual parties. And then this month I have 10 parties, and 7 of them are virtual, and 1 is a pop-up, and 2 cooking shows so far. I'd like to get a couple more.
Yeah, what are you calling a pop-up show?
So I do a pop-ups at different places. The one I'm doing this month is at a furniture place, and I pop in with the quick cooker. I kind of set it up. It's not really a surprise. Here I am. But one of the girls that's doing a catalog party, I'm doing a cooking thing there for them, for the employees. So they're going to order that way. So I've done them at yoga places with just like the lettuce chopping, real small stuff, anything you can carry in a crate. I usually line them up with whoever, and I've done them at the yoga place. I've done a couple there. So they get about $132 and then get some contacts. Hopefully each one gets better. Oh, I did a casino with the quick cooker.
So do you just displaying it, or are you actually making food?
I'm making food.
Okay.
Making food.
I can't do that here because we've got some really staunchy, strict food law people that hunt you down, I swear.
Yeah. Yeah, it's different per each place you go, as long as Montana's got some funky rules too. So I had to take an 8-hour class, but yeah, it's called a lunch, employee appreciation lunches. You can go do that. It's no different than bringing in a quick cooker or a crock pot into a business.
Sure.
You know, when they're doing their lunches, what trying to do a fundraiser at Costco for someone who's sick, and there's no difference on that.
That's very cool. Good idea.
You're
Yeah.
actually thinking outside the box. That's really good.
I'm not too out here.
So how did you guys alter your host coaching after hearing Nicole last week? Or did you?
I just tried to do more of it, and so far I haven't been able to tell a difference in anything. So.
Well, it's only been a week, so I imagine that's something that's going to build. The more you do it, the more you're going to see. So, all right. So when you hear the word salesperson or car salesman or a phone telemarketer, what kind of emotions does that bring up to you guys?
Ew.
Exactly. Ew. I always think like pushy car salesman seems to come straight to mind versus like, just car salesman.
Yeah.
Pam, what were you about to say?
Both of them are like, ugh, why are you calling me? Don't come over here. I told you all the time,
yeah.
car man is over here, we're leaving.
As soon as you pull in a car lot, you just feel it encroaching. Like, come on, they're all coming.
Like vultures.
Almost everyone has had a bad sales experience at one time or another, some worse than others. We had we were trying to buy a station wagon when I was a child, and we went to one place, and my parents had put a deposit down, and we went to another place and found a better deal, better salesperson, better experience. We went back to the other place, and the guy just about cried, begging my dad to not change his mind and not want to give me the deposit back. It was really sad, and I will never forget that. A grown man in tears, not wanting to lose the sale. So how do we prevent that from being us? We're going to go through that. So how often do you feel pushy, stressed, or anxious when you start talking to your customers? Often? Every once in a while? Not at all? April's shaking her head no. April's gotten over this.
Vendors. I push hard at vendors.
Okay.
Doing a vendor event, I'm a little bit more pushy, but I don't have time. Got to grab them when you can. I'll trip them.
Yeah. Janelle's tackling in aisle 2.
Yes.
What I want you to do is to stop and think about something for a second. Changing your perspective. Staying there is only going to stay negative, and it's going to build frustration. And you're not a salesperson. You're not selling them anything in a manner of speaking. We are, but we're not. If you look at it as you're sharing information that's going to help them, that can help you start to build a positive point of view. And I think it comes across in how we talk to everybody too. If you're coming across as, oh my gosh, I need sales for this month, I'm losing my numbers, blah, blah, or I'm trying to reach this goal, sometimes that just come across as extremely pushy. But other times, if we actually sit there and just look at it as reaching out to help people, like you're doing the customer appreciation lunches, that's just thanking them for what they do. And by the way, why I'm here, here's this quick cooker that when you're exhausted and don't want to come home tonight and cook, you can throw everything in here, turn it on this setting, and here's dinner. And that's so much easier to share that information than like, oh my gosh, you need this now. By the way, you need 2 of them, like those, but wait, there's more. Buy now and only pay shipping on the second one. We're not those kind of people. So there's a couple of different names that I did that were in this training, and one of them was that you're a go-to guru. I love that sound of that. You're also a problem solver. So what I tend to do, and April can probably second this as well, when someone says, oh, I don't like that, pick your product, you're at a show, someone goes, oh, I don't like that. The first thing I'm going to say is why. Can you share with me what your experience is, why you don't like that? Because chances are it's actually a problem solver thing that we need to fix, not anything else other than that. So we can fix either they're not using it right, either they're not, they weren't trained how to use it right, or they just don't get it. The can opener is one of those ones that I promise happens all the time. They have it, they saw us use it at a show, they get home, they use it maybe once or twice and try and can't quite figure it out, and now they hate it. Okay, so I actually took someone at a show, had them get a can from the host. I made her do it. I wouldn't do it, wouldn't touch it. Made her do it. She's like, oh my gosh, that's really easy. I said, see, you just did it. So then the next person said, well, I never got it to work either. That first person went around the table, got another can, sat there and showed her how to do it because she just needed to figure it out and be trained right. So I problem solved. Or a go-to guru. I had somebody in class today say, hey, what should I do tonight? I've got a bunch of black beans. And we started talking recipes. That's the kind of thing I want to have people know me for, is to come to me when they've got a problem or come to me when they've got questions. And that's not a salesperson. That's a go-to guru or a problem solver. And already just naming those sounds so much better than a salesperson. So there's 3 skills to master when you're selling. You need to love your products, you need to change your point of view, and you need to share solutions through stories. Now, I actually already just did that in some respects by sharing the solution with the can opener. There's lots of different ways you can do that. We're going to talk about that now. So the technique. There's 10 tips to boost your sales. If you guys want to, you can do a screenshot of this, or I will post them on the group later. But the first one is to showcase your power tools. I have heard multiple different consultants. I've heard multiple different versions of this. Our group, April, Nicole, and all of us usually always say, talk about your power tools, showcase them. Don't showcase just the can opener, because that's a lower end product and they're going to buy a can opener because they need one. You need to talk about the power tools. I've also heard people say they don't talk about those. They talk about the other gadgets and they use the other ones for bookings. I think that is actually cutting off your nose and spite your face. I think you need to talk about your power tools and you need to show them, because someone's going to go to the store in Walmart and buy a spatula just as easily as they're going to come buy a spatula with you, but we have more to offer in our other products. Ask lots of questions. If you know what they need and what they're stressing over and what they're struggling with, you are better able to help them. And then, of course, put them first. Because you're asking those questions, you're putting them first. It's not your sales numbers. It's not, I've got a challenge to sell 15 of these this week. And those work for different purposes, but not all the time. You want to find out what they need in their life, not what you need them to need. Share complementary products and cross-sell. That is a huge factor to why you have an $800 show versus a $1,000 show, or a $500 show versus a $1,000 show. You're selling a quick cooker. If you just sell the quick cooker for $240, that's great. However, it has all these different accessories that come with, and all those different accessories help them do so much more. It'd be like selling the mix and chop without selling a skillet, or a skillet without the mix and chop. I mean, however you want to talk through that. You know, talking about making fajitas in the Delaware grill pan. We'll talk about that again in a little bit, because I use it for an example for something else. But you wouldn't want to just sell them that pan without talking about the ways they can cut their vegetables or stir them or pick them back out of the pan or different things like that. Include multiple price points. Not everybody can turn around and just buy a quick cooker full price. That's why we talk about host specials. That's why we talk about other options. But there's also, if they're just not in that place, then you sit there and go down to an $88 deep covered baker or the $139 rock crock, which is something they can do for less money. They can do a lot of the same things as far as the cooking in the microwave and cutting down some of their cooking time. And it's a price point that's different. And some people won't bat an eye. And some people will be like, oh, well, I can stretch to do the 88, but I sure can't do the 240 right now. But you got them and you've helped them in the kitchen. Ask about their wish list. Those wish lists are so cool. You sit there and have them put all their stuff on there. You can sit there and work off of it. You can add it to their different carts. If nothing else, you can watch it when things go on special, or it's that host special that month. You can contact them. But it also just shows a vested interest in putting them first with what they want. Share product stories. So product stories we'll talk about a little bit more, and we'll go through that. Product stories are a great way to sit there and show different uses for the products, and how, especially at shows, other people will go, oh yeah, I use it for such and such, or I use it over here for this. And it's just kind of a different way to bring that in. Shortcuts, tips, kitchen hacks. Those are huge. Everybody wants to know different shortcuts, different ways to use it, multiple uses for different products. And again, start practicing using your products. Even if you're doing virtual, if you use these products at home, you can talk about it a whole lot better than you can when you sit there and look at a picture and try to describe it. Because someone's going to ask you, how do you like it? You can't say you love it if you've never used it. You will come across phony. They will see right through it, and you will not get sales from that.
And
I
it's
use the other
perfectly, also perfectly okay to say if there's something that you don't like, if somebody asks, because they're going to believe you and they're going to know that you're being straight with them instead of saying that everything's wonderful. You know?
Don't shoot the messenger, but somebody asked me about that today. Somebody brought a quick slice back and they did not like it. And I said, I'll be honest with you, I can do the same with a knife, and it's kind of a pain to clean. And so she was already not liking it for certain reasons, and she had an issue with her, so we're going to look at it. But I was honest with her. She's like, I appreciate that. And she was wanting it for potatoes, which is not what it's for anyway. So I brought her in the house and I showed her the veggie wedger, and we went through that. And so she's probably going to end up getting that instead. But I agree with April. Be honest about your products. And if you don't have it and you've never used it, don't make up that you have. Just say, you know what, I don't have that one yet, but I have friends who do, and they like it for this. And find out, or ask some people. I've got a bunch of consultants I can talk to, and let me see what we can find out for you. So know, use, and love your products.
Well, and one of the other things too that you mentioned on here, I know more than one person. I know a lot of people, but one in particular told me I never show anything that's less than $50. And you know, she said people are going to find the cheaper things, and that's a philosophy, but I don't do that. But, you know, I don't spend 30 minutes talking about the citrus peeler and the pan scrapers. You know, I may breeze through that when I'm covering my door prizes that I'm giving away. But it's like, I do talk about the $25 and $30 things because they may still spend $100 getting those. So.
Well, think about it. The mix and chop is now $14, right?
15.
So $15. And if you didn't talk about that, you wouldn't have the fun facts that we've gone to Hawaii and back again twice as many of those as we've sold. And you wouldn't have that person who order 6 of them just stuff stockings at Christmas time. You sell 6 or 8 or 10 of those, that's not a bad problem to have. So you've got to talk about them. But again, don't spend your whole afternoon or evening focused around, you know, $20 and under items. Not necessarily. So what's a product story? Take time to think of the products that you are going to demo and talk about at your parties. I use a blank every time I forget to thaw out chicken for dinner. I simply put it in the microwave and you go through the story. So it could be, in this one, it could be multiple things. So I kind of gave some wordings that you can use multiple ways. This could be the quick cooker. I throw it in there. Obviously, you're not going to put it in the microwave. But it could be the decovered baker. It could be the micro cooker for ground beef. There's several different ways you can do that. But tell the story. I love using blank for cooking vegetables for dinner. Again, that'd be the micro cooker. Most likely, you can steam your vegetables. Different ways you can use that. And it doesn't always have to be something that you have always done. You can sit there and use a story from somebody else that you've heard. You can use a story from one of your customers. You can ask in the crowd when they share their favorite products, and they usually will tell a story with how they use it and what they do. The double burnt grill pan is the easiest way to whip up a batch of fajitas, and it's so easy to clean. So I usually have a story that goes with that. So simple facts are in the catalog as well, but you can also come up with your story to work and expand on that. So I had a guest at my house. I was hosting my own party, and I had made the fajitas for the party. And somebody came to the party who's like, how easy is that to clean? And I'm like, it's a breeze. She goes, well, I have a George Foreman and it's a nightmare. I said, this is nothing like that. And as a matter of fact, it's cooled off and ready to go. We're done and it's ready to clean. Do you want to just try cleaning it? I'm all game because she's now doing dishes. I don't have to do it. So I let her go over and clean up the double burner grill pan, and she bought one that night full price because it was that easy to clean. So and now I tell that story. So that's a story that you can tell about the product when you're out at other parties. Questions or comments on that? I'm going to keep rolling. And you can take it one step further. Not only is the double burner grill pan easy to use, but we have the chef's tongs, we have salad choppers, we have different ways to work with this. So then I can stir it, I can flip it, I can move it, and then I can cut the chicken and then serve it. And those are extra utensils that are not, and it's, you know, yes, they're under $50, but the salad chopper is what, I'm horrible with these prices, I don't have them memorized, 26, I think, for that. And the chef's tongs are like $17, $18. So you just bumped it up, and sometimes that puts them over the next category for whatever else they want to do. Especially if they already have the double burner grill pan and they never thought about using the salad choppers. You know, that helps them get more ideas of what they can use their products for. I can't tell you how many times I mentioned the salad choppers for chicken, and they're like, oh, I've only ever used it for my salads. So then you've got them excited for that. Or I didn't even know you could use it for meat. Another example is once I finish searing my meat in the Dutch oven rock crock, I can place it right in the slow cooker stand. Cover it, cook it low and slow, dinner's done. The cross sell on that is the slow cooker stand itself, because that did come out after the Dutch oven rock crock. Most people are getting them as the sets right now, but you do still have people out there who only have one part and don't have the other. So it just, that's a story because you talked about how you're going with it. Did you know that you don't have to know it all? Nod your heads. Agree. Yes, we did know. So ask your guests questions. I very often have them, especially if you've got a lull during part of the recipe, ask them to introduce themselves because I don't know all of them. And then their favorite Pampered Chef product. And I usually plural that because people are like, I have to pick one. So I usually say your favorite 2 or 3. And in doing that, you are taking advantage of friends selling to friends. And you totally want to do that because they are going to believe them almost before they're going to believe us, even though we're the go-to gurus, because their friends who they know and already trust have used it and have another example. So they hear it from us, they hear it from their friends, and then that just makes it that much more solid to put it down on their order form. Find what page it's on. And so someone asks about a product and you don't have it memorized yet. You can say, can someone find what page that's on and can you read it for us? And there's nothing wrong with doing that, especially if you're a brand new consultant. You sit there and have them turn to the catalog, especially the cookware. There's so many facts and details about the cookware. Have them look for it, read for it, and read it out to you, and then everybody knows. And you can thank them. Thank you very much. And you don't even have to sit there and say, I don't have it all memorized yet. You can just use that as a hunt and seek type game at the show. Some people give tickets anytime someone does that. If you do the ticket game, people give tickets when somebody is helpful and finds a page number or reads out an answer to the product on that. What products do you recommend to someone who is zero Pampered Chef in their lives? Every once in a while, it still happens. You have somebody at a show. I don't have any Pampered Chef at home at all. Someone will joke and call them the Pampered Chef virgin. Okay, so here you go. What do you want? And then I turn around and ask the questions to the group. Okay, so what do you tell these people they have to have? Like, what do you think they need to start their kitchen out with? The batter bowl, the mix and chop, different things like that usually come up pretty quick. That's a great way to get them talking on that too. And once you've shared a use or two, ask if anyone else has anything else. So if you're sitting here talking about the mix and chop, that's probably, I know it's one of the lower end products, but still one of my favorite ones that comes up in conversation because there's been some crazy uses for it. Scrambled eggs, pulled pork, pulled chicken, muddling strawberries for strawberry shortcake, breadcrumbs. You take graham cracker crumbs and crumble it up with that to do your graham cracker crusts. I mean, there's just the list just kind of goes on, and there's always somebody who comes up with something new. But most people don't know you can even do that much with it, so you have an example to share. Obviously, you can do the same thing with like the Dutch oven rock crock, or bringing up the fact that you can cook a whole chicken in that in 30 minutes catches most people's attention immediately. And then, oh, by the way, you can also sit there and throw it in the dishwasher, et cetera, et cetera. You guys know the uses. Know your catalog. So this is a picture of my catalog. I have a 3-ring binder. I have protector pages. You guys have heard me mention this before. This goes with just about everywhere, especially when it's a new catalog change, because they don't put things in here in the same order. They have some of the same clusters. They have some of the same products pictured near each other, but they've always changed the order in the book. You can now take this, once it's in these page protectors, and you can flip through it very quickly. If your hands are messy from your party, from cooking or whatever, you can wipe those pages down later. You can zip through the pages. Not licking your fingers and pulling the pages apart, because if you're cooking, you don't want to show people like, licking and changing your page, but you can sit there and use these. These page protectors, honest to goodness, are almost 9 years old, because they're the same set that I started with when I first started my business. It's 9 years in June, and I have maybe had to replace 1 or 2 pages. I've cleaned them down, I've wiped them down, periodically. It's good to go. But what's the other thing you notice with this? It's clean, it's professional, it's organized, and it has all the information on the products in there that you need to when you're in front of somebody. You can sit there and answer their questions, or then go into the app and pull up use and care and go a little bit further if you need to. So just a suggestion, but I highly, highly recommend it. If you were to take this now to virtual, Really, not a whole lot changes, except you're going to have to describe a little bit more for more products because they're not going to be able to see them with you in person. And that's really the biggest difference. You're still going to tell those stories. You're still going to show the products. Take advantage of marketing imagery. If you guys are not on that, you're not using it, you're not familiar with it, find it. That's one of my biggest takeaway homeworks for you guys, to go find it and use those images. They're gorgeous. They spend a lot of time and money on them for us. It has just about everything in there. And not only is it just pictures, there's videos, there's recipes, there's recipe videos, there's all kinds of things to use out there, and it makes it easier. Don't reinvent the wheel. It's right there. Especially with doing virtual, those recipes, that's the little cute little video where they're making it kind of like Tasty Fresh and those other ones that are out there. We have ours, and there's no reason you can't use the other ones, but why not use it showing our products at the same time? Have your host or host post their favorite product, because they're, again, you're doing the friends, selling to friends aspect of that, and then have them ask everybody else what their favorite is. That is a very easy, interactive way inside of a virtual party to get people talking. And when they go pull a picture off the internet or off the catalog page or whatever, and they go, this is mine, it's the ice cream maker, I absolutely love this, we make ice cream every week, my kids like chocolate chips, I like sprinkles, whatever they're talking about, they've already piqued everybody else's attention because they're talking about it, not just us. Focus on higher priced products. Again, with virtual parties and any party, you don't want to talk about just the low end or just the high end, but you do want to make sure you focus on them with virtual, because they're not going to see them any other way. They're not going to cook in it at the show because it's just on there, and they're not going to see it unless you talk about it. So I usually try to find some decent recipes for the cookware or the rock crock or the quick cooker for sure. The quick cooker, they even have a recipe out there on marketing imagery. It's a short little video with the 7 favorite recipes. So 7 nights of meals with the quick cooker. It's an easy watch, and it gets people talking. And I use it to where I say, tell me which ones of these you would make. And they respond back with the recipes that they would actually want to try. Do a scavenger hunt in the party. This is new for me. It's working great so far. I created this in Canva. You have them pick one item. The first person picks the waffle puff pan. So April goes and finds that. She does a screenshot of the waffle puff pan and what page it's on. Then she can only do that one, then the next person. So then Pam goes and finds the splatter screen. Once she's done, Janelle can go find the season's best. If they're the only ones interacting once it's done, even after Pam, April could go back and find the next one. There's only 12 items on here. They post a picture and a page number, and it gets them interactive, and they have fun with it.
Oh, I love that. Would you share that?
Sure.
That's awesome.
Sure. And then what you do is on that post, when you post the picture, in Post My Party, the link is just our interactive catalog, the interactive catalog link that's from our site that allows them to pull up the whole electronic catalog. So they're actually flipping through our catalog virtually and finding the page numbers that way. All right, one possible way to draw attention on your virtual parties is to select a theme or break the week down to highlight days. So I'm not sure, you guys can answer this in just a second. I have broken mine down based on somebody else's example to me, and these are not the right days, but just as an example, Sundays, cookware, Mondays, bakeware, Tuesdays, stoneware, et cetera, rock crocks, however you want to break them down, but that way all your posts are centered around that. And it kind of helps, a couple of reasons, the thought behind it, from what I understand, and so far it seems to be working, is if somebody can't be on there every day, they can mentally make a note of what day they want to see because they're interested in the stoneware, or they've never seen these rock crocks and they want to go see them in action, so they want to set a reminder for themselves to make sure they go check out Wednesday's posts. So that's just an idea with that. Theme parties, some people switch the virtual parties around based on the theme of fajitas and margaritas or whatever, Italian, summer salads or whatever it happens to be. So, Pam, what do you do for yours?
I have a question.
Yes.
On that previous slide where you talked about breaking it down, each day into a different
Yes.
product. Can you post like what you did on Thursday and Friday? And
I will. I have to go. I did not have a chance to pull it up today, but I'll go find what I use in my virtuals and I'll post it for you.
Okay, because I haven't seen that before.
I will do that.
I was talking today with Robin, and we were talking about how that Steve Drapowski does topics for his too, and he does gadgets one day,
Yep.
stoneware, bakeware. The last day out of 5 is my favorite things, which I really like that. He said it makes people perceive him as a real person. Cannot remember what the 4th thing, because it's not cookware or rock rocks.
I use the same format that he does. He's where I got most of my information, between him and Amy Schramm. So it's gadgets, cookware, bakeware, stoneware,
Favorite things.
and favorite things.
Yeah. So it was cookware. I didn't remember that.
Cookware is on there. I believe it's cookware. Actually, you know what? It may not be, because I think I added that into favorite things, because cookware has not been
I was thinking it was not included in there, which to me, that have to be in favorite things, you know, to be a big power
I will post that. I have it. I just did not pull it up fast enough when I was working on this, and I meant to go back and put it in and didn't. So I will post that for you guys, because it's slick. And then you also have a way of, to me, it was kind of a mental way of organizing my slides, because there's so many posts that you put into all these different days, and it was a way to sit there and go, okay, this does not make sense because it's cookware and we're talking about stoneware. And so it helped you, A, not overload that particular day, and B, make sure you got everything to do. So the other thing,
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. The other thing, y'all, don't be afraid to go live on your virtual party. I'm seeing people talk about the most of their success because they went live. You can do a short video. You can record it. You don't have to do live. You, like physically you on a video, can be on there. I have in the past done the pineapple wedger and a video on how to demo the pineapple wedger, and have done the demo, and it's on my YouTube channel. And I have pulled that when somebody has asked questions about the pineapple wedger, I'll pull it and post it. It's me showing them how to use it. So that's one step up versus just finding anybody else or just the quick paper chef one. So there's a plus, because they're seeing you use it. You can show recipes, either the beginning, the process, or part of it. You don't want to do like the whole 20-minute recipe, because nobody really wants to watch that much. They say you have about a 6 to 8 minute attention span tops. Usually actually more about 4 to 6. So you want to do short little snippets. So sometimes I do how to throw everything into the quick cooker, or sometimes I show, hey, I did all this and this is how I did it, and open up the quick cooker and go, here's dinner, and show that. Different bits and pieces. The other thing that someone mentioned just this week, and I had not heard of before, they've gone on and done their hello. Hey, welcome to the party this week. I'm so excited you guys are here. We're going to do all kinds of different things, blah, 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 blah. And you're live talking to them then, but they went in afterwards at the end and did a closing. Thank you so much for coming, you guys. If you haven't gotten your orders placed, this is what you need to do. Don't forget, we've got the great gift special this month, which is the crinkle cutter. You want to make sure you can get to that $75, and then you start talking about the other thing like booking and different tie-up pieces at the end. But it's kind of your way of coming on and saying thank you in person as well, which I think both of those are really valuable, because we're not going to see these people otherwise. So the other aspect too is to show a full meal. If you sit there and go through, not only you're doing the chicken in the deep covered baker, you're also doing the vegetables in the micro cookers, and you're doing garlic bread on a piece of stoneware in the oven or whatever it happens to be. And then you can sit there and show, and that's an easy way to cross sell, because not only is it just the tools to stir the meat or whatever, it's also the other pieces to finish a whole meal. I think we leave that out sometimes because we're talking about the big piece, but you do have to figure out what else do you have with that, or what else are you doing for dinner. Last bits and piece on this is value. You need to make sure we're adding value to this, you guys. Regardless of the show type, you want to make sure that you're adding value to the products and the people. Pam, are you raising your hand?
No, ma'am, sorry. I was taking a picture.
Okay, that's fine. I just saw was your hand up, wasn't sure. So you want to make sure you're adding value to both the products and the people. Even if you're on a virtual show, adding value into their comments. Instead of just liking it or commenting it, ask questions about their comment. Ask questions about what they said. How do you do that? Or some people post their favorite cake recipe or cake type of cake, and do you have a recipe for that? I mean, just interact with them. They're people. Guest time is valuable. Show them how they can save their time doing one-pot meals or 30-minute microwave meals or quick cooker meals. Show them how their time can be used in other ways other than just in the kitchen. The quick cooker, amazing value and saves you money. If you were to go to the drive-through and spend $20 after 12 trips, which is 2 a week, or however, for 6 weeks, however you want to add that up, $240 for that quick cooker is taken care of and paid for. And at 12 trips to the drive-through sounds like a lot, but in reality, people are going to the drive-through way more often than they probably want to admit. And a family of 4 cannot eat for $20 in a drive-through anymore. You can barely do that for 2 people if you go get full meals, because even a regular chicken sandwich, I'm eating healthy chicken sandwich meal is $6, $7, $8, $9 depending on where you go. So that is going to be cut in half if you have a family of 4. That's probably 5 or 6 trips, and you've already paid for that quick cooker. And look, you can do entire meals in that for that same family. So show that, explain the value of it to that, and their time again is valuable. Your guest's family has value. Encourage them to go into eating healthier, and more time around the table. And then talk about our warranties. The lifetime warranty products in particular are your higher dollar prices, but it's also an investment. It's investment into their time, into their family, and into their kitchen, which allows them to then have more time out of the kitchen with their families to do other things. And they're not saving up to buy the next set of cookware. They're saving up for vacation because they're not having to keep going out, not having to keep buying replacing products. You're more valuable than just being a kitchen help or a galley slave. Ha ha ha. Because sometimes I swear it feels like that, especially when you have lots of kids at home. It's all you do is spend your time in the kitchen. Let me help you reduce the time it takes to provide good meals for you and your family so you can do other things. That's basically the gist of that. Any questions? Y'all are so quiet.
Really great content here.
I stumped the panel.
You did a great job. Really good.
Thank you. All right, well, April, I'm done. It's on you now, girl.
Okay, so if you want to unshare.
Yeah, stop sharing. All right. I should be off.
All right, so we're going to transition you guys to our recruiting portion. And last week we did inform, but we actually did we did the 2 videos for in-home and all that. So really, we didn't get to cover everything that I wanted to. So I'm going to do a quick overview of inform and then move into invite. So that's what we're going to talk about for tonight. So last week we covered, like I said, those 2 videos. So sharing the opportunity is a 3-step process: inform, invite, and opportunity chat. So inform is different from inviting, in that informing is just creating that interest. And that's what we called it, was creating desire in the business opportunity. And that's where we're saying, this comes in the kit, or, what would you do with extra money? Those kinds of things. Inviting is actually one-on-one, inviting them to learn more, not saying, are you ready to sign up tonight? But would you like to know more? So that's basically where we're going with that. So to inform, that's during the group hello. And we had examples of that last week. Planting those recruiting seeds during the simple selling, so during your demo or during the part of the virtual party, and then sharing more during your confident close as you're checking out with each person. And that's going to be virtual or live, either one, with you using your door prize slips. And so some of the things that we sometimes see, questions that are asked on virtual parties under, ask me anything about my job, or questions that are asked at live shows, maybe not even during the show, or somebody will come up to you before and say, how many shows do you do per week? That, it sends up my antenna really, really fast, because I know that people are thinking, not wanting to know how many shows I do. And you think, oh, they're really interested in my business. They want to know for them. They're thinking, is this something I can fit in? And how many consultants are in this area? It doesn't matter if there are 15 people on your street. There's still business for everybody, because we don't have territories, and you can do them anywhere. And virtual parties especially, you can do them anywhere. So that's really, really awesome. Do you do all your shows at night? And so all of these questions, as people ask these, you turn that around to say, instead of, oh, I do 2 parties a week, or I try to do 3, or whatever, you're going to say, I try to do, 2 or so a week, but that's the cool thing about this business, because you can do however many or few you want to do. Is this anything you've ever thought about? So you turn it right around, and that's the way you end every one of these questions. Do you get to keep all those products? Sure do. Don't you think you'd love having these in your kitchen? Is this anything you ever thought about? And so these are all things you're going to turn around and be able to turn into talking to your customer about that. Some of the behaviors, not necessarily things they say, but at live shows, when people get there early or stay late and offer to help you, you want to let them do that, because they're actually wanting to kind of try on the apron right there. And don't just say, oh, I got it all figured out, and I'm guilty of that a lot. So I have to really work on being able to say, sure, why don't you, do this, and let them actually get their hands on the tools. People who wash the tools, they're like, oh my gosh, this is really, really good quality. I think I need one of these. And they tell everybody else about it. And the hecklers, y'all ever have hecklers in your shows? You know, where they just say, they kind of annoy you a little bit sometimes. And they ask a lot of stuff and you're kind of like, oh, I wish they'd just sit down and shut up. And the people who are kind of smart alecks, those people are a lot of times people that are kind of thinking about selling, and they might be really good at it. Now, they might drive you crazy when you're on there on your team, but really good potential people to follow up with. And then anybody who says, I've got that, and give tips during the show, gosh, you know, you are my poster child for tonight. You really ought to think about selling, because you helped me sell 5 manual food processors tonight just by talking about it. And also making sure you tell your story. So why you started with Pampered Chef, why you stay with Pampered Chef, what you're excited about coming up next. Make it short and relatable. The more detail you go into, the less relatable it is. So, hey, I'm Pam. I started because I love these products and needed some extra money. And so I just, you know, I love what I'm doing. And now I'm working on earning a trip to Disney. And so that's all you got to say. You don't need to go into a whole lot of detail. And because, you know, my husband this and we moved here and we did that, it's like people, you lose people. So make it short, succinct, relatable. And some of the activities, and we talked about this in our last 12 weeks of Disney before we moved into this section, talking about the ticket game, the pass the prize, the envelope game, the did you know cards are on the website, and you can just give those and stick one in everybody's catalog, or stick it on the front of their catalog, or you can plant those, you know, in virtual parties so that you can say, you know, did you know that, you know, a lot of our products are right and left-handed because our founder actually is a left-handed person, you know, so something like that. Or did you know that the average consultant makes $100 to $200 per show? So those kinds of things. Did you know that 50% of our sales are from virtual parties? So those kinds of things would be really good. We talked about the why bag, the recruiting slide, and the booking slide that's one on one side and one on the other. Do y'all remember us talking about these? And are there any of them you are not familiar with that you want me to talk about for a minute? Pam, do you remember all of them?
Yeah, I didn't know that the did you know cards were on the website though.
Yeah, and if they're not still on there, I have them saved on my computer and I can post them. In fact, I'll just post them anyway. So,
okay.
Sarah, do you have them? Do you know if you've got them on your computer?
I'll look right now. I'm not sure.
If you don't, then just send me a text to remind me to do it.
Are those the interview?
They're on like stickers. They're set up like 30 on a page so you can print them out and put them on stickers and stick them on something.
I do not.
Okay. Well, I do. So to remind me. Okay. So sharing the opportunity at virtual parties. These are kind of things that you might ask. Ask me a question about my job. Why I love being a consultant. The commission check game. We talked about that last time too. And then following up with people, anybody who comments or likes the questions about the opportunity, you want to say, hey, were you just trying to get extra points for the prize, or are you really thinking, you know, that you'd like some information about this? And then, haha, you know, LOL. Perks of being a consultant. You can do a Google survey form. In those full service checkout calls, you're going to ask them, and then you can email them or text them or message them after the party to ask them, you know, hey, is this anything that you think you'd like to learn some more about? And then here are some really fast, I'm going to just breeze through these, but these are some posts that we've had before. Some of them are still on the website. If there's something that you really want, take a picture of it and then let me know and I'll send you the original, okay? So I'm going to breeze through them. Why I love being a consultant. Earn money you need. I know this one's still on there. Dig into all the perks. This one's still on there too. I really like things that have.
I have that love being a consultant one if anybody needs it, for sure.
Okay. Life tastes great. Grab a spoon. I like that one a lot too. I think that's really good. A year from today, you'll wish you'd started today. I love that one. I think that's really, really good. Ask me anything. I'd love to answer questions you have about Pampered Chef. If you want something in your life you've never had, you'll have to do something you've never done. I love this one too. So the goldfish jumping out of the bowl, you know, it's like jump on in, the water's fine. And there's room for you at our table. This one's still on the website too. And I love that one. That's really good. Six aprons. And there are several different versions of the apron ones, but this one I think is clean and crisp and looks nice.
I do like that one.
And I like it. And you know, it doesn't just have, you know, catalog, virtual, part-time, full-time on here. Career consultant instead of full-time sounds better, I think. And the hobby consultant, you know, we know that people do that. A short-term consultant, somebody needs a dishwasher, you know, and so you can talk about those on your virtual parties. This is a different one. I like this one too, because this is my favorite apron. The current one we have, I think, makes everybody look pregnant, unless you're about 90 pounds. So, and then after we get through informing them, we're going to invite them. And so the time we're going to invite people would be at the full service checkout. So as people are checking out with you, hey, what about the business opportunity sounded interesting to you? You know, and so just get them to talk to you about that. Is there anything you think you might be interested in? Can I give you one of the brochures to take home? Can I meet with you? Can we have coffee tomorrow? So those are the kinds of things you'll do during that. And then during the 24-hour follow-up call, both with hosts and with guests. For hosts, you're going to do that 24-hour follow-up call after you set the date of their party, not after their party. But you set the date of their party, you're going to call them and say, hey, I'm getting ready to send your host packet out. Just wanted to check with you. Is this anything you've ever thought about doing? Because, gosh, this could be your starter show. And give them that opportunity to do that. The 24-hour guest call is to thank them for their order. And we call that actually, and I'll show you here in a second, Big Mac call. But the 24-hour call to your host, here's an example of a script. Hey, Julie, this is April with Pampered Chef. I wanted to give you a quick call to say thank you for booking a party with me. I know we're going to have so much fun. The date is June the 3rd at blah, blah, blah. I know that you mentioned this yesterday, but I have to say that you've been on my mind. I think you'd be a great consultant with Pampered Chef, and it would be terrific to have you as part of my team. I'd love to get together with you for a cup of coffee and tell you a little bit more about our business. I know you'll love what you hear. What do you think? And so just putting it out there to see, you know, if they are interested in doing it. And then the morning after call, we call that the Big Mac call, morning after call, Big Mac call. So we're going to call Sally and say, hey, Sally, it's April with Pampered Chef. I wanted to give you a quick call to say thank you for attending Julie's party last night. Gosh, I loved having you there. Didn't you have fun? Great. I know I mentioned this yesterday, but I have to say you've been on my mind. I think you'd be a great consultant with Pampered Chef, and it would be terrific to have you as part of my team, and I'd love to get together with you. Same thing, blah, blah, blah. I know you'll love what you hear. What do you think? And so it's just putting it out there and just extending that. And that's the way that people are actually, that follow-up that so many of us, and I include myself, don't do regularly. That's where we lose these leads. You may have 5 leads at a party and not get a single recruit out of it because you didn't follow up. And that is me too. And I'm talking to myself. So guest response, if they say no, if they say yes. So if they say yes, gosh, let's meet. Have you got time today? I move on it quickly. If somebody says, yes, I'm interested, or yes, I want to sign up, I don't say I'm going to call you next week. I say, hey, I'll be right over. Seriously. And so, I mean, like Robin and I, when I first met Robin, it was like, I'll meet you at McDonald's. Halfway between here is that so-and-so, you know. And so that wasn't the first time. It was when you signed up second time, Robin, I think. But if they say no, then you can book them, because if you'll book them, it gives you an opportunity to continue that story, that discussion with them. So say, hey, if this is not a good time to sell, what about just doing a party so you can get some more stuff for free? Then at your shows, you want to think about, it's not you that you're thinking about. I just need 1 more consultant. I just need 3 more and I'll be a director. It is how we can help other people. And that's truly what it's all about, because, you know, I've had consultants that I signed up before that told me that they cried dropping off their baby at daycare that day. People who were like worried about their electricity being turned off, and it made a huge difference. They got caught up on their bills. People who just need more friends and need some joy in their life. Somebody who's got a big financial thing coming up. Somebody who needs money immediately. Get them started immediately. And people who hate their job. Those are always really good people as well. But the bottom line is we want to ask everyone, and I've got Cookie Monster on here because of the story that you guys may have heard before about, you know, if I come into a room and all of you guys are in there and I have a plate of cookies, then I go to Kara and I say, Kara, would you like a cookie? And she says, yes, thank you. And I go to Pam and Pam says, oh, no, thank you. I don't want a cookie. Pam, you'd say yes, wouldn't you? You want a cookie. I know you would, because I love cookies too. And I would always say yes to a cookie. And so Pam says yes, but I go to Robin and Robin says, oh, not right now. I may have one later. But then I don't ask Janelle, you know? And who else is on here? There's somebody else, because I can see I'm missing them. Michelle. Hey, Michelle. And so I don't ask Michelle and Janelle if they want a cookie. Are you going to have your feelings hurt? Michelle, would you have your feelings hurt if I didn't ask you about a cookie?
I sure would.
Sure would. Absolutely. So I got to offer everybody a cookie. You also offer everybody the opportunity. You always do that, because you never know who might be interested. And if you say to somebody who's really outgoing, gosh, you'd be a great consultant, and the next person coming along is really quiet, and you don't ask them, they're thinking, she doesn't think I would be good. That's exactly what she's thinking. And even if she is not interested at all, it still makes them feel bad. So you want to ask everybody, extend that opportunity to everyone. So what we want y'all to do this week is practice this recruiting message. And if you will, take this and actually, you know, start practicing doing this with people. It will help you to be a stronger recruiter, but it also might get you some recruits. And next week, Nicole is going to talk about the opportunity chat and what you say when you actually get together with them the next day for coffee or for a Coke or to go over to their house or whatever. There is a really good training on Consultants Corner under PCU, and you go under courses, recruiting, and top recruiters tell it all. It's with Brenda Copy and Genevieve Black, and it is really, really good. And so if you'll take a picture of this, you'll remember the name of that. I'd love for y'all to see that, listen to that this week. It's something you can listen to in the car as you drive back and forth to work, or while you're doing something else at your house, just to get you some ideas. But you will like it so much you're going to want to listen to it more than once. It's really, really good. So I just encourage y'all, take action this week, practice doing this. And have y'all gotten some recruit leads in the last week, anyone?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, tell us about it.
Well, I got my sister-in-law in Florida, and a couple of people when I went to my class reunion out in Pennsylvania. I was out there with about 30 of my friends, and they're all retiring. They're all kind of looking at transition. So there were a couple out there, and I'm really hoping to expand out that direction. That's good information, April. I'm going to use a lot of it. So
good. And next week we'll round out the rest of the package. So it's going to continue right from where we left off. So, if you think you're ready to move in the director's chair, remember, how many does it take? 5. You need 5 consultants on your team. And one of our people who's brand new and just in her first month ended on Monday. She already has 1 recruit signed up and another one getting ready to sign up, 2 more getting ready to sign up this month. And, she's so close. She just needs a couple more of people. And she's doing a great job of just jumping in there and sharing right out of the chute, even before she knows enough to train them. She's doing awesome. And so she's already earned 300 Pampered Chef dollars. And I mean, it's fantastic. So y'all congratulate Jennifer Day, because she's doing a really good job. She's not in here right now. She'll be coming and listening later, I think. But she's doing a really, really great job with that. And we can all do that. Let's all sign up 4 or 5 people this month with this special. And with that kit this month, that summer kit that's got the quick cooker in it, why would you not want to tell everybody about that? It's just something that you just put it out there and just say, hey, I know you like this quick cooker and you didn't want to pay for it. How would you like to be able to get it for a really, really great price? And the extra things in the kit are going to be worth more than that $109 they pay for. So really, really awesome for that. Any questions or comments? All right, so let's all go out and be wonderful this week. And next week we are going to have Lori talking about keeping loyal customers. She's going to talk about customer care, customer service, being a really strong consultant with follow-up. So that's going to be really important for us. And then Nicole is going to do the opportunity chat or the interview. So that's what we're going to be doing next week. And, after that, we only have like 2 more. We got 1, 2, 3 more weeks. So we're halfway through. Today is week, I guess this is week 3 of the main part of the content. We got 4 more. So we're almost halfway. Next time is number 4 out of 7. So, and then we'll have to come up with something else to do, right? This summer, I think we're going to have some guest speakers of people that are rock stars in the company. When we did that before, that was really neat, wasn't it, Pam? You remember when we did that?
Yes.
And we had a bunch of really cool people that were some of the top people in the company come on and talk to us about what they're doing in their business. And I've already gotten mine some people I want to call. So I'm really excited about that.
So I wanted to ask you guys how many are already registered for conference?
Woo! Going.
I am.
Yay! And Michelle, you're going for sure, right?
Well, as long as the Air Force doesn't be silly with me.
Better not mess around with you. Pam, you're going? Pam?
Yes, I have to register this week.
Yeah, be sure you do it before the cutoff for the
Regular price.
early bird. And Robin's already registered, or no? You registered yet?
No, I'm not registered, but I will be. I will be going, but I have not registered yet.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, let's all go. That's all of us. We're all going. We're
Bring your bathing suits and come to the Crown Plaza and we'll exercise.
Yeah. And that's
I
where.
was looking at bathing suits online tonight just for that reason.
Well, I can't wait. I think that's going to be awesome. So very, very cool. Well, you guys have a great week. Kara, you did a fantastic job on the selling piece. That was really, really good. Be sure and share your slides back with me.
They already have the 2 things everybody asked for already out on the page. So
Okay, great. And then I'm supposed to post what?
You're supposed to go find.
The did you know card.
Oh, the
Very good.
the thing that
Did
goes
you
up.
know cards that Pam just told me. So I will do that right now. And Kara, thank you for recording. I'll let you post when you're done. Will be awesome. So thank y'all so much. Have a great week. See y'all next Wednesday, if not before. Okay.
All right, y'all. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.